welcoming. That's cured me right up. Hello, and welcome to Friday Night with Jonathan Ross. And I have got some sad news, ladies and gentlemen. We're not on next week. Come on, it's sadder than that. Well, the good news is it's sport relief, OK? A great charity day where sports people and comedy people raise loads of money together. And admittedly, normally the only time footballers feel relief is when they remember to delete their text messages. Although we get more. But not next Friday. Lots of celebs are getting involved. I, myself, am running a mile from anyone trying to get me to exercise. I've given it up. The bit I'm most looking forward to is one of the Blue Peter presenters has been filmed taking a kayak up the Amazon. Blimey, it's changed, isn't it, Blue Peter? I'm going to red button that one. Shall we have a look, ladies and gentlemen, and see who is in my green room this evening? My first guests are the stars of the award-winning sitcom, one of the funniest shows on TV, and one of the freshest, and I think most honest. It's called Outnumbered. Here they are, ladies and gentlemen. Look, and there's the cast right there. You've got little Ramona there, Daniel and Tiger right there, and, of course, Big Hugh and medium-sized Claire. How lovely to have you all. That's the cast of Outnumbered. Now, you see, we do have children on the show, as you'll be aware, and I've checked the BBC guidelines, and there are certain areas we have to be a bit careful about. My next guest is an actor who has firmly positioned himself at the crossroads where sport meets comedy. He is the one and only, the splendid James Corden, ladies and gentlemen. Look at James. One of the funniest and most talented young men in the country as we speak. And I have checked. I did a poll. Now, James is doing loads for sport relief this year, aren't you, James?
Yeah.
He's all over sport relief. Including a sketch with some of the biggest names in English football. In fact, he's now so close to the players, he has become Ashley Cole's best alibi. Mr. James Corden, ladies and gentlemen, and the cast of Outnumbered, they're on the show, but we also have another guest right here for you, a Welsh singer who has sold over 10 million albums. She's been on the show a few times before. I've known her for donkey's years. She's a fabulous guest. I'm thrilled she's back. The lovely Charlotte Church. Wow, looking so glamorous. You're like a movie star.
Oh, shut up.
You look like a movie star.
Oh, good.
Hang on, James and Charlotte, I've just had a great idea for a romantic sitcom. An Essex boy meets a beautiful Welsh girl. They fall in love, they get married. Nah, that would never work, would it? No. We have another guest as well. I'm so excited she's on the show. I got hooked watching this on the TV. She is the gold medal winning athlete who won Britain's first individual Winter Olympic gold in 30 years, the fabulous Amy Williams. Amy! Gold medal winner on the skeleton bob. And that's how they do it. I watched. And you've got the gold medal with you, I believe. Look at the size of it. Blimey. You want to watch out? That youngster next to you thinks it's a wagon wheel. He might try and eat it. Right? And we have some music now. Who came along? Who was looking forward to seeing Cheryl Cole on the show tonight? Yeah, me too. But Cheryl, she was going to be on, but she's got bronchitis, ladies and gentlemen. I know what you're thinking. That's a lie, but no. Because we know there's other stuff going on, but no. So we've turned to Plan B, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. And, young man, you do perform under the name of Plan B, do you not?
That's right, yeah.
There. Listen, Mr. B, or Plan, if I may.
Yeah.
You know, there's some young people in there. Sit up straight, take the gum out of your mouth and put that bloody beard down. What's wrong with you? Show them a bit of how to behave. Mr. Plan B is on the show as well. I love your track because, you know what, we thought he's here because he was booked to come on in a couple of weeks, and because Cheryl couldn't make it this week, he was kind enough to move it early, so he was booked to come on anyway. We're delighted you're here. Thanks so much for joining us. What's your real name, by the way?
It's Ben.
Ben from the Plan B. Now, hey, did I mention it's Sport Relief next week? I think I did. And one of the big events is, this is one of those big fundraising things they do, the hoopathon. So part of the evening called the hoopathon, where celebrity hula hoops is going on. There'll be celebrities with hula hoops trying to keep them going. OK? So we thought we'd join in, we'd start it off here this evening, give you a flavour of what's to come. So can we have, we get some hoops in the green room for the people who are going to be hooping in there. OK, there you go, get ready to go. I'm a bit of an expert with this, so I'm going to show. I think we've got one for Tiger and Daniel and Ramona in there. Hugh, I'll send you mine in a minute. I'm going to start off in here, OK? So you wait there. And yeah, this is how you do it.
Oh, well, everybody's heard about the
Not a bad start. Well, OK, Hugh, do you want to have a go?
Yeah.
OK, I'll throw this over to you. Ready to catch? Here we go.
Yeah.
Wow. Got it right over. Do I win something for that? Oh, look at that. Fantastic. OK.
Get the children.
Do you want to give it a go? Give it a go. Let's have a look here.
well, everybody's heard about
Oh, watch out. Oh, you're bloody useless at it. Go and sit down. Let's have a look. Daniel, give it a go. Daniel, you want to go? Yeah, give one a Tiger. Yeah, where's Ramona? She's... Oh! Better than Hugh. Come on, Ramona. Wow, that's a good... Tiger. Tiger, you got... Let's see what Tiger's got. If he's wearing the smart suit, he's getting great. He don't want to do this. He's almost a teenager. Here we go.
Yeah!
OK. Shall we get my first guest out, ladies and gentlemen? OK, we're going to get them out because obviously it's getting late and they've got to get to bed, and that's just Hugh and Claire. Will you please welcome from Outnumbered, Ramona, Daniel, Tiger, Claire and Hugh. This is the Outnumbered family. Let me start by introducing people properly so they know. Let me make sure I've got the names right. It's Tiger.
Yep.
Do you mind, guys, if I ask how old you are, the grown-ups as well?
No, I'm 14.
Tiger's 14. Hugh?
I'm considerably older than that.
Yeah, well, you can give it in months if you want.
No, I'm 48.
48?
Yeah.
OK. Ramona, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 9.
9. Daniel?
10.
10. And Claire?
45.
Wow.
How old are you, John?
I'm 40-something. How's it been for you kids in particular with the series? Because it's a real hit. Has it changed your life much? I mean, do people recognise you? Do they talk about the series to you? How have your friends reacted to seeing you on TV? Let me start with you, Tiger.
I think some of my friends were sort of overwhelmed, like, a couple of years ago when it started. But I suppose they've gotten over it now and things, and occasionally you do go out and people ask for pictures with you and stuff, which is pretty cool.
Ramona, let me ask you, do people recognise you in the street and stuff? Do they talk to you about
Yeah, sometimes they come up to me. And then normally it's like teenage girls. And they always come up and then ask for a picture and then go...
And how much do you charge for pictures at the moment? No, you haven't been in showbiz that long, of course. Daniel?
So I've had weird ones. I mean, no, I'm not kidding. I don't mind it, but there's been two which are really creepy. One, there was a man who kept on driving around.
OK, well, you know what? We should phone someone now. We should really... I'm hoping you've dealt with this. But what was this fella...
Well, he was driving this car, and we were in the local shopping centre, and he was driving this car around, and we were about to get in, and he shouted...
Hold it, you were about to get in the car?
No, get in the shopping centre.
Oh, good, thank heavens for that.
And he shouted, "Hey, Ben." And then afterwards, we were going to walk around the other side to get something to eat, and he drove past and he said it again.
Yeah, you know, he probably is the head of ITV. He's probably trying to get you guys over because they need a sitcom. Presumably, we should just establish there are normally grown-ups with you at these places as well. So, yeah, you're not sent out on your own to wander around shopping centres, of course. Let me ask you about the way it works, because the show and the kids' performances feel very realistic, and the relationships between you and them feel very realistic. And if you've seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Is it tightly scripted? Are you allowed to stray from the script? How does it work on the day, Daniel?
Well, the adults never really improvise unless the kids are unless we're improvising.
Oh, I see.
But we always, well, I at least always kind of fiddle with the script a bit, and if I forgot what to say, I change it slightly. But usually that's all right, and they use it.
Yeah. So often, are the improvisations better or as good as the scripted material? Are you allowed to keep it?
Yeah, I mean, the way it works generally is if it's an adult-on-adult scene, and that isn't as dodgy as it sounds. But if it's Claire and me, that is That's scripted.
You know what you're doing,
Yeah.
you stick to it.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you're
Kind
working
of.
with the
But
kids...
we're told not really to learn the script very well, which is the most fantastic thing. Yeah. If you're straight, it's fine, just learn it a bit.
So you can kind of let it go, and so you're reaching around yourself. So if you're not entirely kind of confident in it, when they come in, unscripted but on a mission, then it goes kind of nicely up in the air.
But it must be fun that you flow with it, I guess. It must make it a more interesting...
fantastic. And if it's...
They just kind of leave chunks that you improvise in. And even though the adults are scripted, when these two come up with something crazy, they have to respond to it, and then they begin improvising as well.
And one time we were watching something on TV, and we were actually watching it, and then it was something to do with Michael Jackson. I think it was his funeral. And then
Hold it. Let's not judge just yet, OK?
and then Daniel said, "Oh, what a dumb name to call your child, Blanket. It's like calling them Sock." And then we couldn't stop laughing. And then they had to stop the scene, and then we had to do it again, but we couldn't stop laughing.
You're not available to write for me on this show, are you? Let me ask you about the way, if it's changed things for you over and above being recognised, because, of course, I met you very briefly at the Comedy Awards, which was lovely, and you won 3 Comedy Awards. Congratulations. I wouldn't be at all surprised. I'm hoping you will be up for BAFTA this year, and maybe more Comedy Awards. I mean, I know the results aren't in yet as who's been nominated. But how was it for you in the evening? Who did you get to meet? Was it fun being at an event like that? Do you like meeting other people who you've seen off TV, and who are the people you've met who you've enjoyed meeting?
It was really good when we were backstage, and Pixie Lott was standing right next to us.
Yeah.
That was pretty nice.
Well, especially at your age, that's a dream.
I know something about that. I knew that she was going to say Outnumbered. I knew she was going to say Outnumbered because she was opening in it, and then she said it quite loudly, and the other two were pointing at some picture on the wall, and I just heard, and I started spreading it, and everybody was saying, "No, she can't have. She's probably trying to distract you." They were wrong.
So you feel vindicated. And did you go to the party afterwards? Were you allowed to see people? You didn't have any drinks, I wouldn't have thought, but I mean, you must have...
You went to the party, didn't you?
Were you allowed to go to the party, Tucker?
I don't remember, actually.
Well, then you probably went. yeah. Last thing he remembers is being carried into his bed by his dad, that's it.
Yeah. We weren't allowed to be in the same room at the Comedy Awards. We were on the well, Claire and I were on a table.
They were
in
protected.
a room.
Oh, because
because they worried about what rude thing you might say.
But in the room, I found it was kind of better because on the other ones that we've been to, like, we had to sit at a table and it was really boring. Yeah. And then just the woods. But in this we could talk and chat without being told to shush, and then we could eat, and he ate 5 tubes of jelly beans.
Wow. Is that wise?
I like them.
Well, I think we've established that.
You're putting them in a glass and drinking them, weren't you?
I got that off you.
Do you?
It's like...
Yeah. It's quite a handful. When does the 3rd series? Have you started filming it yet?
3rd series is filmed, yeah, it's done.
It's out in 3 weeks-ish, yeah.
And the storylines are kind of basically you're growing up as we watch, I guess. So I suppose do they deal with you guys getting older in the series? No.
Yeah, they
They do to him.
Yeah, my character becomes a lot more moody and sort of...
I don't.
Yes, some
He
really
calls me just to...
big goes at his dad.
Yeah.
And but this is
dad would not stand for that.
is perhaps the stereotype of a teenage boy. I don't know. Are you like that at all in real life?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
No, to you I'm nice, but to my parents I can be a bit...
Hold on.
Yeah,
Do teenagers know they're doing this then? They have. So you could stop being that way to your parents if you wanted to.
Yeah, but I don't really do think I want to. It's quite fun.
I'm a sort of...
This is a revelation for all of us. We assumed you had no control over your hormones. You guys, presumably you don't get tired or cross of these guys ever, or do you? Are there things that they do on the set that...
Yeah, but it's one of the fantastic things about doing it, isn't it? We were saying the other day that we don't actually have to discipline them at all.
We can just bow off. I mean, it's quite tiring. We have looked at each other and just... I'm exhausted, aren't you? Because I've just done this at home.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
I've got to do it again, yeah. But they're lovely. You're all lovely with it, though. Just
I love the fact Daniel wasn't paying attention to a single word that any of us have been saying for the last 4 or 5 minutes.
The other thing I love about it is the fact that nobody has commented at any point that neither of us look anything like our children.
You don't look... well, I suppose Ramona could be...
But we're both
Yeah.
Both blue-eyed. We have to have, you know, it's got the wrong colour.
Actually.
No, I'm brown eyed.
I'm blue-eyed.
Yeah, no, you're blue-eyed.
You say that, Hugh, but you know, I know what you're saying. Really, don't put yourself down, because a lot of men have much better looking children in real life. I mean, it does happen. Congratulations again on the series. I came to it late, but I'm loving it now, and I can't wait for the third one. Lovely to have you here, ladies and gentlemen. It's the cast of Outnumbered. Thank you so much. Tiger, thank you. Good work, young man. Thank you very much. Hugh, thank you. I'm stepping in perfectly. Thank you. How lovely to see you again. Thank you, Ramona. Hey, bye, Daniel. Nice to meet you. Hey, lovely to see you. Thank you very much. And welcome to Friday Night with me, Jonathan Ross.
Welcome to Alan Carr, China!
Shall we get my next guest out, ladies and gentlemen? Now, I'm so excited. She made history in the Winter Olympics by smashing all records and bringing home our first individual gold in 30 years. I hope you were watching. Olympic hero, Amy Williams. Amy Williams, ladies and gentlemen. And wow, you look gorgeous as well. Yes, that's not a dinner gong, that is the gold medal there. Look at the size of it. That's bigger than ones I've seen in the past.
Yeah, it's very heavy.
And it's gold-plated, I guess, is it?
Yeah, we think about 40% gold.
Well,
I think we've worked
still
out.
a lot of gold. You could send it into that gold.com thing. I don't know
Yeah,
if you've seen that.
I've had quite a lot of
That's
suggestions
pretty good,
to do that.
But don't take the first offer. Send it to a couple. That's what I've been told. Wow, it's a good... And this is a beautiful sort of piece of sculpture as well. I mean, they really made an effort this time.
Yeah, every single one's completely different with the design and shape.
Beautiful. And you brought it in to show us this evening, of course. Do you wear it out ever, or is it safe at home? I mean, I suppose
It's always right near me,
You
but
keep it close.
I
That's
don't wear
beautiful.
it down the street.
Thank you for bringing it to the show. It's what an incredible achievement. And were you, obviously you've been training, you've been hoping to achieve this, but were you surprised when you won?
Yeah, I didn't know I had won. You know, you're going so fast and you don't know how quick you're going when you're actually on the sled.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get to see the clock because I was going too quick up the outrun. And
I guess you don't want to stop and look at the clock, because that would defeat the object
I can't
of...
stop.
Yeah.
No, we've got no brakes, so we just have to wait until we slow down. And then I had to ask my coach, well, where have I come? And then he whispered it to me. And
You must have known there was a chance, though, because if I'm right, you have 2 goes a day.
Yeah.
And it's 2 goes over 2 days, isn't it? And then
Yeah.
they combine the 4 runs together to get the top. So you must have known at the end of the 3rd run that you were in with a chance.
yeah, because then I was last to go off, and you know I knew my run was either going to be gold medal or however I dropped down.
Can you imagine the pressure? I mean, how did you deal with feeling that sort of pressure on you at that moment?
Oh, I didn't really notice it. Like, I feel more pressure sat on the sofa, really.
Well, this is more important.
No, I just was having fun at that point. I had
What a
nothing
brilliant
to
attitude
lose.
to get yourself into that state where you think, I'm going to have fun. That must be the saving grace. That's how you do it,
Yeah.
I guess. What kind of speed are you travelling at? What's the highest speed you've reached?
I got to 90 miles per hour.
90 miles an hour. And that's just you on this... and it is like a tray, basically, isn't it, with handles?
Yeah, it's quite sophisticated, but everyone
You
does
say
brand
that,
it as
but-
the tea tray.
Well, it's a tea tray,
but
really, with handles. But it's a heavy tea tray as well.
It's
'Cause I picked
33 kilos.
Yeah, we had it here. We haven't got it out here because it was too bloody heavy. I could barely lift it, but you're hoiking it around when you get on and off. Man, it really is. It must be exhausting.
We're strong girls, you know. We train in the gym, so half of it's to lift the sled, not actually run.
Is that what it really is? And you have to have strong neck and shoulder muscles, don't you, because of the G-force?
Yeah, it's a lot of G-forces, especially on Whistler track, and yeah, up to 4 or 5 Gs, so you can't lift your head, and most of the time your head's pinned on the ice going around the corners, so you can't see.
But that must be terrifying.
You get used to it, but yeah, you get used to not seeing at that speed.
You get used to lying on a tea tray going down a hill at 90 miles an hour without being able to lift your head? Of course you do. How do you steer? Because there's no wheel on it or anything. How do you move it around?
Well, when we lie on it, it's through our shoulders, so with pressure through your shoulders, if you move your head a little bit, move your foot a little bit,
So
you know,
it's
it's
just
so sensitive, just depending on what you do.
And that's because of the wind going past you, the speed, the airflow.
Yeah,
that's
and
what
the
moves.
pressure's in the corner, the G-forces, you're kind of playing with how the natural line is to loop, and you're steering at exactly the right place to get a smooth line, which is then quicker.
And do you ever get, you can't have your mouth open, I suppose, you get bugs or anything in your mouth, like on a motorcycle, on my scooter sometimes, I've caught flies
I'm
and just
lucky,
swallowed
I've
them.
got a visor the whole way down, so no bugs.
Well, the helmet was there was a sort of contention, because was it the Canadians, and we know what they're like, They complained afterwards and said your helmet was somehow, you know, not cheating, but helping you unfairly. Is that right?
Yeah, several nations complained about my helmet, but, you know, it was all passed by the jury, so none of us were worried, but they
so,
were...
because this is a regular helmet, and because this isn't the one, but this is essentially the shape of it. And what was different on the one that you had, or what did they say? What was wrong with it?
We just, with the wind tunnel, did extra bits, and there were some bits included in the helmet.
A couple of extra bits on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this wasn't the one you wore. I've got the one that you wore there, and we can see, and you can decide. I don't see what the fuss was about. This apparently. I said. Look at that. I'm ready. I think I got problems just to get on the table. You can have this to take home if you want.
Thank you very much. I'll wear it in my next race.
It's tight on your head, isn't it? Oh. Have that, Amy. So, now, your boyfriend also does this, doesn't he?
He does bobsleigh.
So, bobsleigh. Now, what's the difference between skeleton and bobsleigh?
Bobsleigh's the cool run-ins with the huge, big bobsleigh where there's 2 of them or 4 of them.
So 2 men. It's a 2-men thing.
Oh.
I think that's him on the right there.
He's on the left behind. The
so
driver, yeah, that's
on his
the driver.
right, but on our left. Okay, yeah. Well, he's the one on the right looks like he's been at the Pies a bit. Does he not look that way to you? Is that what they're meant to be for this sport?
The drivers get away with being sometimes a little bit
unfit.
Squidgier.
Squidgier. Wow, that's a great sport then. We finally found our sport fellas. What's the kind of career, the cut-off point for someone doing something like skeleton bob? How long can you successfully and sort of like, you know, compete properly for?
Yeah, quite a lot of the women till mid-30s, men till about 40. You know, because even though you physically might get slower at the start, you've got so much experience of learning and driving the actual track, so it kind of outbalances, really.
So just having been around for a while and knowing all the bumps and stuff, you can...
Yeah, the ins and outs and
The problem is, I think, when you get to my age, if you're doing it, if I'm lying down, I'll have a nap. So I would probably doze off before we got to the bottom. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, that's always something you'd have to
No one's
risk.
ever fallen asleep by doing it, have they?
No, but I have had runs that I can't really remember, like the middle section of it or the bottom half.
You just started thinking about shopping or something? What's happening? Or what's on TV tonight?
So I have to say, sometimes on the slower track, I have wondered, like, you know, what I'm doing later on. And then I'm like, whoa, come on, I'm going into corner 3, like, concentrate.
And if they got one with a big hill at the end, you could go up and have a parachute at the top, would that be something that you think the Olympics committee would consider?
Yeah, or we've all considered, like, little hoop-the-hoops or something.
That would be
if you're going
great.
quick enough.
A loop-the-loop halfway round. I love watching the skeleton bob. Now I'm feeling I'm having skeleton bob withdrawal symptoms because it's not really on TV a lot, is it?
No, it won't be now until we start again October, November. So
Damn those Olympic people.
Wait a little bit.
Well, you did your country proud, of course. I'm sure you know that. I can't wait to see you do it again. Good luck with the training when you resume it. Ladies and gentlemen, will you join me in saying a big thank you to the spectacular Amy Williams? You can keep, if you want to keep the cover, I think you can. I love it, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's great. Amy Williams. You got your fabulous thing. Good luck with your boyfriend. Shall we get my next guest out, ladies and gentlemen? Will you please welcome the magnificent Mr. James Corden? There's a lot of lovely men right there. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what you've done to deserve that either, but it's lovely, isn't it? It's great to see you back. Hey, Sport Relief, you're doing loads for Sport Relief.
I was just watching then and thinking, I could do that.
I could do that as well. We could be the double bubbers.
Now, in all seriousness,
yes.
I would love that. That is exactly what I thought when I saw that fat man and his slightly thinner mates.
Yeah, still quite fat.
No, but a bit thinner. I thought we could do that.
Yes.
Why don't we try and do it for the next Winter Olympics?
Hell to the Y, to the E, to the A, to the H, yeah.
Or I'd like to do the luge, which is the opposite of what Amy does, right? Which is just that.
Well...
essentially, that is the luge.
Yeah.
And that is the sort of sport where I really feel I could excel. Like, that's it.
That's a good position.
Look there.
That's all can we see the feet? He's steering. Corden. You're either a natural or some strobe lighting has set you off. Sport Relief. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't this exciting? He's back as Smithy for Sport Relief, which was one of the funniest things on any of the reliefs last time. And this, who have you got involved with? Which sporting personalities are you involved? Because it's a fantastic lineup, I'm led to believe.
Well, yeah, I mean, after the sketch with the England team,
which was
incredible.
Yeah,
which had a great response and was kind of beyond any of our wildest dreams, really. The people that run Sport Relief came to me and my friend Ben and Gabe, who we made the sketch together, and said, would you do another one? Yeah. And we thought, well, we can't really do another one with the England football team. It would seem silly to go back. So then we thought, what should we do? So we drew up a wish list of kind of of British sports stars that we'd like Smithy to have worked with over the last year.
Helped, coached, encouraged.
Yeah, so he's like their mentor, their coach over this time. Ever since his work with the England team had opened a door into this world, was how we kind of thought about it. And we ended up shooting the sketch with Tom Daley, Jenson Button, Andy Murray, Freddie Flintoff. I'm on the left. Just so you know. Tom Daley. Yeah, who do we do? So Andy Murray, Jenson Button, Tom Daley, Freddie Flintoff, the Man United team. David Beckham.
So when you're working with Man United, because Man United obviously, you know, is one of the best teams in the country, have been for so long, and there you are, and you turn up dressed like that. Presumably now, they all know roughly what's going on, but nothing can have quite prepared them for the pink socks and the matching headband. And do you see, what does Sir Alex Ferguson say about all this kind of thing?
The thing was, I should say, Man United couldn't have been better with giving us time and their facilities and things like that. And Rio Ferdinand was really instrumental in pulling the players together. In fact, if it hadn't been for Rio Ferdinand, I don't know if there'd have been an England sketch. Yeah, like he really
he's a big fan of yours. He knows and trusts you and likes you.
And I think he gets it, and he understands that he's in a very privileged position and should give back as much as he can. So he brought those players, and he got all these players to come as well. But the problem was, and it was a regular thing with the making of this sketch, is sports stars, you never quite know when they're going to turn up. You know, that you're told a time, but it could be an hour, 2 hours either side of that. So we were kind of waiting in this gym at Man United's really, really impressive training complex. It's incredible. And then we're just waiting around, and at one point we thought we'll check the PA system and check it works and stuff. So we're blaring this music out, which is the song from Karate Kid. Like that, you're the best around, nothing's ever gonna keep you down. And literally at the moment we turned it on, and it came out too loud, you know, because we were testing it, Sir Alex Ferguson walks in, right? Followed by Fabio Capello. And he's giving him a guided tour of the training complex. He opens the door, and this music's blaring out. I'm in cut-off denim shorts, a pink headband and pink leg warmers, and then Capello, who looked at me as if to say, this bloke is always around. Who is he? Like with one eye, a look of recognition, with another eye, a look of disdain. Do you know what I mean? And the worst thing is, I'm thinking, I feel an idiot, this is embarrassing, but on the other hand, I'm thinking about the sketch, and I thought, they're here. No. They're in front of us. If I don't ask...
You don't get.
And I'll regret it. Yeah. So at this moment, I go, guys, we turn the music off, and it sort of gets a bit louder because they turned it the wrong way. And I stride towards Sir Alex in these cut-off denims and pink headband, and I go, hello, Sir Alex, I'm James. Thank you so much for letting us use it. I go, hello, Mr. Capello. He literally just goes, yeah. That's the best way I can describe his look. Yeah. And I said, we're shooting a sketch, and basically it will help a lot of people. And at that moment, Sir Alex Ferguson went, no. And went and just left. But as a club, they couldn't have been.
Well, you know, he was probably right, because he has to maintain a certain position.
Of course, I mean, he's just thinking, what the hell is going on?
But what an exciting thing to do. And Beckham, of course, has always been very giving when it came to sport relief, comic relief, and any number of other charities. I know that. I know it's really. What a strange life he must lead now, because he's just about probably the most famous sports person on the planet.
Yeah.
And you got to film with him, and you got to hang out with him a bit as well. Is that right?
Well, the incredible thing was, so you know, we drew up this list, and at the very, you know, the sort of untouchable, unreachable one for us was, it would be great if we could get Beckham. Yeah. If we, because like so much of it's done in just minutes. You know, the Man United team, 8 minutes. Yeah. You've got 8 minutes of this team. You've got half an hour. And we thought if we could just get 5 minutes with Beckham, it would really give the sketch a real edge. So anyway, we went, and what was incredible was out of all the people we shot with, we had the most time with him. We were told we'd get an hour. We shot for 4 hours. We went for dinner. We're hanging out. I'm like, oh my God, trying to hold it together. We're having dinner, and I'm literally inside just going, you're the most beautiful man I've ever seen. And he's going, do you want some of this? I'm going, yeah. So, Milan, how is it? You know, just trying to be really cool. And yeah, I'm thinking, you know, but he was great. I can't speak highly enough of him.
Well, he's
when
a
it
very
came to
sweet
dinner,
guy,
he ordered in fluent Italian.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, I didn't know you were fluent Italian. He said, yeah, of course I am. I'm playing an Italian team. I said, but you never give press conferences in Italian. And he said, because if I get one word wrong, then they'll just go, oh, an idiot. He said, so I don't, but he was completely fluent. He was gracious. Every single person that met him, he just took this time, and you saw them all go away going, wow, he was... I can't speak highly enough about the guy, really.
It's going to be great fun. I can't wait to see the bit with Man U. That must be hilarious. Yeah. Do you find it funny watching it back, even though you knew what you did?
But the best thing about it was getting to spend time with people like Andy, who I really liked. He was such fun, and there's a really great thing. There's people can buy a making of the sketch on iTunes for £5, and that goes £5 goes directly to Sport Relief, which is also, you know, the amount of money to buy a malaria net. So if you download our making of, you're buying a malaria net for someone. And there's a moment on it where I'm talking to Andy, and we're just chatting, and I said to him, because I'd always wanted to know, I said, you know, when you're playing and you get like 3 balls, and you look at them and you throw one away.
I've always wondered why they do that.
And I said, why do you do that? And he went, I just do it because everyone else does. That's what he said. He went, I don't really know, I just do it because everybody else does. He said, I just feel silly if I only take 2, because everyone else... Federer takes 3, so I will. Yeah, he's such a nice guy, you know.
You know what, here's the thing, James has squeezed us in this evening. He's been filming all day in another part of the country. He's been over in Wales, is that right? You've been filming?
I'm doing an episode of Doctor Who.
The new Doctor Who, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
The new Doctor Who. There you are with young Matt, who is the new Doctor Who. He's taken up from David Tennant.
I tell you...
Big shoes to fill.
He's incredible. Honestly, he's brilliant. I tell you, I'm really enjoying it, and I think people are going to really love him.
You a goodie or baddie in it?
I'm a goodie, yeah.
Goodie?
Yeah, I can say, yeah, I'm a goodie.
Are you a goodie from this planet or from another planet?
I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not, because they're really funny about it.
Are they?
They're really like, yeah, they're just really...
You want to chat? Because they've got enforcers everywhere keeping an eye on who says what.
I know.
Plan B's working for them.
Is he? Well, I'll tell you what, I'll tell Plan B anything he wants to know. I'm absolutely terrified. It's like sitting in there with one of the Krays. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely terrifying.
I'm a bit scared of Plan B.
I'm terrified. And I want to go, hasn't the flavour on that gum gone now?
He just waved.
That's right. Did he?
All right, so listen. Matt, we have Matt Smith, the new Doctor Who. He's here on the show next week, ladies and gentlemen.
He's very nervous.
He's very nervous. He shouldn't be nervous. I love Doctor Who, and I'm really looking...
I told him that. I said you're lovely, but...
and I've read one of the new episodes already.
Have you?
Yeah.
I think I've got my words here.
Have you?
Yeah. That's my words for tomorrow. Ah! No, you can't. You can't read it out, though. You can't read it out. No, you can't. You can't. I get told off.
Plan B! Come and get it! Plan B!
I'll get so told off. I'll just show you. But look, that's how bad it... Oh, actually, this one hasn't got my name.
No one knew the Doctor was a lady.
Okay, do you want one line?
One line from the new Doctor Who. Let's hope he doesn't get in trouble.
I'll get so in trouble.
Well, we know the TARDIS is in it.
This is a line. I won't tell you which character says it. No, you won't. I've been in your head, remember?
Wow! So when does that episode air? Do you know when that particular?
I'm not sure.
Sometime in this one.
I know the series starts in Easter, and I'm not sure after that.
Can't wait to see it. So great to see you again.
It's lovely to be here.
Well, when should we? We need to get together for training.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, we've both got a bit of time on our hands coming up. So
Two-man bob.
I can't wait. Yeah, genuinely.
I'm going straight home after this, waxing my chest.
We need to get a bob, though, don't we?
No.
Maybe
I'm
we
just
should
going to wax
do
my
it
chest and you can ride me down the hill. James, great to have you here. Mr. James Corden, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Cheers.
Good luck with the hill. Go on, give them a wave. Sport Relief, it's next Friday here on BBC One. Get involved, watch it, maybe do something if you can. Please make sure you're watching it. You gotta love James. Shall we get my next guest out? Yeah. I am thrilled she's back on the show. Will you please welcome the fabulous Charlotte Church, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, you're looking great. You seem very healthy, you seem well, you seem happy. And now, since last we met, you have another baby.
I do, too.
Isn't that lovely, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah,
what's you've got a little boy and a little girl now,
yeah,
haven't you?
I got Ruby and Dexter.
How lovely. So Dexter's the new one?
Yeah, Dexter's, he's just toddling around now. He's just turned 1. Yeah, so when I was pregnant, I literally ate everything in sight.
So it was like someone had pulled the ripcord on a dinghy. You went boom. Now, did you miss boozing? Because you used to be someone who enjoyed boozing. I know that was over-reported, but you obviously liked a night out, as all young women do, it seems. But did you miss that? Because during pregnancy, I'm assuming you either cut back or dropped
nothing
it
at all. Like, no, when I was pregnant, it wasn't even a factor for me. As soon as I was pregnant, I was just like, well, no fags, no alcohol, and it's just a given. And it was quite nice. I kind of enjoyed that. Because you don't have to, but I felt that I absolutely had to.
Like detoxing them, really?
Yeah, and I kind of, it's kind of a self-imposed thing that you absolutely can't, and I kind of enjoyed that, because when you have the option, then I always take the option.
Yeah. OK, and how is Gavin? Because he's not been playing the rugby recently, has he?
No, I mean, he had a lot of injury problems in the past 4 years when he was playing, so I think he just wanted a little break just to get his body right, and so that, when he does start training again, he's kind of free of all of those things.
But he's pretty young still. His body will mend. I mean, he's going to get back in the game.
Yeah, he's literally just turned 28, so I'm thinking he will start training again soon. I'm hoping for it, because, I'd love for our kids to see him play rugby. He's awesome.
Because you're very loved up with him.
Oh, yeah, always have been.
And you've always found him just incredibly attractive,
He's gorgeous. So do you. What are you lying for?
No. All right, he is very handsome.
Yeah, he's lovely.
Oh, he's gorgeous.
Uh-huh.
Does the tan come off on your face when you kiss?
No, generally it's okay.
Does it come off on the pillows?
No.
He loves the fake tan, doesn't he?
He does, but he doesn't.
But he's open about it. That's what I like about it.
Yeah, he's pretty open about it, and he's kind of that colour anyway. He just
well,
puts
because
a
he's
little bit
soaked in. It's like Cuprinol.
It is, absolutely. Yeah.
He's never going to age. You're fine. But he's a lovely guy. I loved how relaxed and open he was about it, because I thought you might be a bit... No, it's just like, this is what I do. This is how I like to look.
Absolutely.
It's a confidence thing as much as anything. Here's the kind of reason why we invited Charlotte Church back on. Not that she's not welcome here anytime she fancies. She's here on the BBC doing the new show. Over the Rainbow starts here on the 26th of March on BBC. And this is you helping... you're not really judging. You're helping kind of mentor the young women who they're going to put in the Wizard of Oz. Is that right?
Well, kind of. I think I'm kind of... I'm a panellist as well, with Sheila Hancock and John Partridge. But then also, because I'm kind of very close to the girls in age, and we do a similar thing, then I think they kind of want me to help mould the girls as well. But we did 2 days in like the boot camp, Dorothy Farm, and
Dorothy Farm sounds great. You've been looking for Dorothy Farm forever, haven't you?
It was a wondrous place, I'm not going to lie.
Dorothy Farm, so this was all the young women who were going to be the Dorothys. How many were there?
54.
54 Dorothys?
54 Dorothys.
You, Sheila Hancock and John... What's his name?
John Partridge.
Who was in EastEnders, wasn't he?
Christian in EastEnders,
and so they're looking over to whether the girls can act, I guess, as much as anything.
Yeah, well, Sheila's kind of really looking for the acting ability and how they're portraying the emotion in the song. John wants to find the complete package, but he's also looking for like movement and how the girls, their stage presence and things. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what all this is about.
Show tunes.
I just want to hear how good their voice is and the tone of the voice.
And you kind of help them. I've seen the clip because obviously Charlotte knows what she's talking about. You don't sell 10 million albums just through luck. I mean, you don't, just...
Well, I'd like to think so. I was classically trained when I was younger. I mean, a lot of that I've forgotten. I should probably go and do it again. But, yeah.
How hard is it to tell people who are singing that you're not quite there yet? How hard is it to be involved in choosing who stays and who goes in this show? Because you're having a an impact right there on their lives, on their careers.
Of course, absolutely. And when you go into it, maybe I took it a little bit light-hearted. I didn't quite realise how dramatic and
a big responsibility.
serious it would be.
Yeah.
Like, and it does mean the world to these girls. So basically, we had to go into a room and we had our 20 from 54 girls. And we asked the girls to sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow over and over again until we told them to stop. And then I had to walk around the room and touch all the girls on the shoulder that had to leave.
Oh, so they gave you that job?
Yeah.
That's a tough role.
Yeah, it was. It was tough, and some of the girls were just crying as soon as we got in there, and it just means the world to them. Like, and some of the girls were fine and kind of winked at me as I touched them on the shoulder,
Okay,
like,
I
you know,
kind
it's
of
okay, I'm
expected
fine.
it, yeah.
Other girls looked at me with contempt and hatred, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then...
But it had to be done, of course, and
Yeah, it
they
had to
knew
be
what they
done.
were signing on for, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
and
I
what
was
were you-
really shocked at the standard, though, of the girls. Some of the voices were really awesome, and I just think, where do we keep finding these really talented people? Because there's a lot of these shows.
Well, each year when they start those shows, you think they're not going to find any more, and they normally do, it seems.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. I felt a bit like Judas.
Well, because I guess you've got to know them a bit by then.
Yeah, only a little bit. If I would have been even more attached, then I would have been in floods of tears myself, like, because I'm pretty soft.
How's it going to work in the series then? Are you going to be in the studio while they're singing and you'll be judging them on the night as well? Like
Yeah.
it was Denise Van Outen and John Bowerman doing the Nancys, of course, you'll be doing the Dorothys. So who's there in the studio with you? Be the Lord, of course.
Yeah, so obviously Lord Lloyd Webber, and then there's Sheila Hancock and John Partridge,
Oh, so
and yeah, we are the panellists then on the show. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm just looking forward to getting dressed up every Saturday night and listening to some really good girls sing.
It's a nice night out. Now, here's what I need to know. Is you're looking for a Dorothy.
Yeah.
You're not looking for a Scarecrow or a Tin Man or a Cowardly Lion.
No, James has already put himself forward for the lion.
Quite
so
right. He'd be a great lion.
He would,
He'd be a
wouldn't
great
he?
lion. That's the best part as well.
Yeah.
Are you looking for a Toto, the dogs?
Yeah, apparently we are.
You're looking now. Now, here's something which I'm sure you're going to enter into in the spirit of the evening, but it's not something I expect you'd want on your CV saying you judged dogs for a musical.
Well, you know, it's not the most credible of roles, but I'll take it.
What are you looking for in the dogs?
I believe we're looking for a dog that is very well trained,
Yes.
that has the right look,
It looks friendly.
really captures the spirit of Toto.
Beautiful dog. You need more than one, of course.
Absolutely, there has to be. But it doesn't have to be a Cairn Terrier, I'm told.
Good, good.
It can be any type of dog, even if it's Beethoven. I don't know what they're called.
This church
Yeah.
is your lucky night. 3 little dogs who were sitting so politely for me when I came in this morning. Well, it fair broke my heart. And I thought you should be on the stage. So I took a photograph to bring in for you.
Right.
Don't you dare say no.
Are they yours?
Yes. Look at these 3 little princes. Now, all right, I know the one on the right has got a bit of a lipstick popping out, but ignore that. He's pleased to see me, and he wanted one of Daddy's special tummy rubs. Look at that.
This one, that one's just too scraggy.
What?
The little one has got a really bizarrely small face. And
Well, no, that's just
maybe the one on the black one is okay, actually. The black one's fine.
So Mr. Pickle you'd go with?
Mr. Pickle I'd go with,
I
yeah.
would warn you in advance, however, he
Okay.
can produce the most noxious wind from his buttocks.
I'll be
But only if you
special.
hold him and squeeze him very hard for quite a while.
Why would you do that?
Wake my wife up. When you've been married as long as we have, you need someone to spice up the relationship.
You're a genius.
He's like a bagpipe. I carry on. The kids love it.
I bet.
OK. When was the last time you recorded an album? Was it the Crazy Chick period? Was that the last album that came out?
Yeah, I did
You came on and sang
Issues
that.
and I was like 18, 19.
Well, you're a
so-
great singer. You're a terrific singer.
Thank
You're a
you.
great performer. I've seen you do it, and it's brilliant. You know, you really are top of your game when you want to do it. You haven't done it for a while. You're getting back into it?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been songwriting now for a good couple of months, and I just love that whole process. And I'm kind of, you know, I've grown up a bit now since, you know, I was writing before, so I think I've got a lot more to talk about and a lot more to say. And I'm working on the album right now at the moment with a great producer.
And so will you tour? Will you do you miss doing big gigs? Do you miss singing in front of a lot of people? Because you played to huge crowds, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, in my time, I did the Hollywood Bowl and I did Hyde
Well, you
Park,
were like-
which was like 75,000
You were like the
people.
Subo of your day. I mean,
Yeah. She's lovely. She's really lovely.
We've missed having you around. I've missed seeing you on TV. I've missed seeing you record. I'm very pleased you're going to be back on.
I can't wait wait for you to hear the album because I know you really like your music, and I know sometimes you like kind of kooky music, and I think it might be a little bit kooky.
So it's a bit strange, it's a bit different.
Not a bit strange, but just completely different to what I've done before, and I'd just be really interested to see what you think.
Well, let me have a copy.
I absolutely will when it's done.
And I'll tell you with great honesty.
Okay, that'll be
I'll warn
great.
you though, I'm completely honest.
I think you'll really like it.
Okay, but you know what? Will you join me in saying thank you? What a lovely guest to have back on the show, Charlotte Church, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait to see it as well. Because I love the musical.
Yeah.
I love it. Thanks to all my guests tonight, the lovely Charlotte Church. Of course, we had Ramona, Tugger, Danny, Hugh and Claire, of course, James Corden and Amy Williams. Welcome to Friday Night with me, Jonathan Ross.
Welcome to Alan Carr, China!
Oh, Jesus.
No, I've just been... Oh. Don't patronise me, Alicia.